Complete forecast every 10 minutes on AM Savannah with Bill Edwards on News Radio 1290 WTKS and 97.7 FM.
Good morning, 827 with retired Lieutenant Colonel Michael E. Silverman, guest hosting for Bill Edwards this morning.
And we are getting ready to talk to Edwin Walker, who is an attorney with Texas Law Shield and a gun law expert. Morning, Edwin. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing fine.
So, we had this horrific fatal shooting by this 9-year-old girl at a gun range, firing a fully automatic submachine gun. What's going on? Should we have an age limit on firing a gun? What kind of controls should we have in place? What do you think?
Well, this is a most unfortunate situation, and it's going to, anytime there's an incident that involves children and firearms and death, of course, it's going to, make headlines across the country. There are people going to be advocating one way or another. But what we need to look at is this obviously is one instance. It is a tragedy. But every day in this country, thousands and thousands of children, the same girl's age, some a little bit older, some a little bit younger, they safely fire firearms at gun ranges.
Sure.
Every single state already has laws that they all have laws that prohibit the unsupervised possession of a firearm by a child. But they all acknowledge that if a child is under proper supervision, if there's no danger to public safety, then a child can lawfully engage in these activities. And it comes down to the responsibilities and the common sense of the individual supervising the child. In this case, the parents and the gun instructor.
Right.
I think if you look at it, it's sort of a cruel irony. But
that it was the instructor.
Yeah, that the person in the best position to make sure that this particular child, in this particular circumstance, could safely handle the gun was the instructor. And unfortunately for him and his family and for the girl and her family, he made the wrong decision in this particular case.
Yeah. So what do you think? Does it matter? Because my wife and I, and Laura and I talked about this earlier, my wife and I had this conversation yesterday. I mean, I was firing guns at 9 years old. Certainly it wasn't an Uzi. Does it matter that it's an automatic weapon in this case? Does that make a difference?
I don't think it makes a difference in that, automatic weapons, they're by law prohibited for private ownership if they were manufactured after May 19th, 1986. That makes all the ones that are manufactured before 86 very expensive.
Very.
It's just, as a practical matter, not everybody can have them. And then, even if you can't afford one, you still have to get approval by the ATF in order to have one. And so it's kind of the forbidden fruit.
Right.
And a lot of people are talking about this is a product of gun tourism, as if gun tourism is somehow inherently evil. But it's like I said, it's the forbidden fruit. If your community prohibits firearms in some sort of manner, and you're curious about them, you want to experience them, you want to know why they, what they do and how they act and what you may feel like shooting one, then go to a range. A range
right.
is allowed to let anybody fire these, and a range will make that decision. A range can prohibit an adult from handling an automatic weapon. And so it's the range's decision at that point as to whether or not they have enough facts to determine whether or not a particular individual, children or adult, particular individual can handle an automatic weapon.
Sure. And so, and I can think of a couple of ranges in the local area off the top of my head that have, Class 3 weapon rentals available. And again, we expect the range to be experts. We expect them to sort of make sure that everybody's safe. And you and I have probably both seen people firing not automatic weapons, semi-automatic weapons who were asked to leave a range. I certainly have, and I would imagine you have. So, yeah, I think there's a lot of food for thought out there. Unfortunately, these videos capture everybody's attention, and they make it, sort of the topic du jour. But thanks for talking to us this morning, Edwin. It was great hearing from you, and we'll certainly keep our eye on what's going to develop as a result of this.
Absolutely. I'd love to do it. I'm available anytime you'd like.
All right, great.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you.